All right, let's get some people in here quickly. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday afternoon. Let me invite a few people in here. As usual, I am going to try very hard to keep this brief. I am still focused on my goal of when I do a live presentation, live broadcast, keeping it to 5 to 6 minutes. One of my mentors, Fundi Karima, Sister Joyce Johnson, she says I need to get it down to 3. That's old. I never really thought that I would be able to do that, but one of our ambassadors, Brother Ricky Swink out of Phoenix, he's pretty good at keeping his live broadcast brief, 3 to 5 minutes, except when he's pissed off. Then he might go a little longer. But I don't think he's ever gone past 8, which is pretty good. So if my brother Ricky can do it, then damn it, so can I. So I'm going to work on keeping this thing brief. I made a post this morning on the I made it initially on my page, but then I shared it to the Black Gold Nation Facebook page and to our ambassador pages. And the post, in essence, stated that the community is surrounded by predators. And of course, predators, they prey on other entities, other animals, for their survival. They don't respect those animals. They don't fear those animals. And as a result, the animals are prey. So we have to, if we're going to change our community, then we need to be able to, as adults, assess where the community is, understand why the community is like that, and then not only formulate a plan to ensure the community doesn't continue to exist that way, but we have to be active in our assurance that the community doesn't exist that way. We have to, of course, get beyond talk of the problem. We have to get beyond the regurgitation of news, quote unquote news, and what other people are saying and not doing. And we have to roll up our sleeves and get with a program that's actually designed to destroy the predators. What's happening, Brother Chase? Andre, how are you doing, brother? Sister Nana, thank you for that list. How are you? Brother DeAndre, how are you? So this brief live broadcast is about the predators that exist in the community. And there are only one of two ways to discourage or destroy a predator. A predator is going to prey. That's what they're going to do. And if we don't change our behavior, then the predation is going to continue. One of our ambassadors, Brother Ian Banu out of New Orleans, he called me a few days ago and was telling me about a reoccurring thought in his head, something that was on his mind, would not allow his spirit to rest. And he said that he was constantly had the thought of a bait, B-A-I-T, a bait ball. I didn't know what that was. So he told me, then I looked it up and got more clarity. I got more information about it, and it made perfect sense. A bait ball is a school of fish or a school of small animals, usually fish, and to protect themselves from larger predators, they come together in one tight group to try and create a ball. That ball that the fish come into, they do that to either confuse the predator into thinking that it's something else, or it's a survival mechanism. They know that some of them are going to die and they're not going to make it, so they bring themselves together in this really tight ball, and they hope that the plan is that those on the outside of the ball, they're going to get eaten first, and those on the inside of the ball are going to make it. And if you Google it, go to Wikipedia or whatever, and watch some videos, it's pretty neat how they do this. But what's sad, as Brother Ian was saying, as it relates to the black community, you have predators that work together to disrupt or destroy the ball, and then when that ball is no longer there, that defensive mechanism is no longer there, then they can pick apart the fish and then eat them. And you have swordfish you have birds, you have seals, you have sharks, you have whales. You have these different levels of predator coming together. And keep in mind, they normally don't have anything to do with one another because they're predators. These predators come together to destroy this one bait ball, this defensive mechanism these fish have, because they understand that if we work together, then we'll all eat. Now, the fish in the bait ball, all they have as a defensive measure is to come together in this ball and hope that they're one of the ones that are on the inside that don't get eaten. The predators work together, they destroy the ball, and then everybody eats, except of course the fish. The fish get eaten. Same thing happening in the black community. Our communities are surrounded by predators. From the schools that our children go to that aren't teaching our children anything, we all know that, to the businesses that exist in the community. Most of them, 99% of them, aren't owned by black people. So you have other people coming into our communities to make money. They take that money back to their communities and do what they're going to do. From the vast majority of the churches that exist in our community, if a church has been in a black community for over 5 years and they are not making the surrounding area better, or they're not trying to build power for the community, then that's a predator. From the grocery stores or the convenience stores or the mini marts, they prey on the people because there's no good, healthy, affordable food in the community. The food is overpriced. The food is not healthy. And again, these businesses aren't owned by people in the community. From actual human predators that exist in the community, that are raping, that are murdering, that are killing, that are selling drugs, that are destroying the community. The black community is surrounded by predators. And we don't even have the sense of the fish to try and create a bait ball, which wouldn't help. It would just be us coming together and hoping and praying that brother A or sister B gets killed first so that we can make it out. Even a bait ball in and of itself is an individualistic, selfish way of thinking and or defending that's not going to work. So we don't even have enough sense to be like the fish and try to come together to protect and save ourselves. Our communities are surrounded by predators. Our communities have within it predators that exist there and people that come from the outside in to disrupt and destroy the community. The American government preys on the black community. The police department, the law enforcement, most of them prey on the black community. Law enforcement has a relationship with black people that's, with white people it's protect and serve, or with people with money it's protect and serve. With the black people it's law and order. Big difference. Protect and serve for white people or people with influence or affluence. Black people, law and order. Completely different relationship, completely different scenario, completely different way we interact and the outcomes. The government, the police department, most businesses, most churches, most schools aren't there to prey upon the people, but because their program and the way they teach and how they teach is merely either to push a child through the system, to get them to graduate and move on, which ultimately to go to college and get a job, which is not the answer, or B, they get caught up in the school to prison pipeline, which the school has very little power to change. So even the schools that our children go to are predatory. Every aspect of the vast majority of the entities that exist in our communities are predatory. That is not going to change if we don't change it. We need a new kind of black man. We need a new kind of black woman. And we need a new kind of black institution that's solely focused on the building of power for black people. We need some predator hunters and predator killers. We need people that understand the problem and are willing to do one of two things, if not both, to protect the community. You win against a predator when you discourage that predator from preying upon you, and that can be any defensive mechanism you can think of. And a skunk might spray the smell. A certain kind of lizard might spit venom into the eyes of the predator. A porcupine might shoot darts. Whatever we have to do to discourage the predator. Look, if you come this way, we're going to get with you. Discourage the predator. And the second way is that you have to destroy that predator. And that destruction can happen in one of many ways as well. We have to be willing to protect what we build by any means necessary. Our children need layers of protection in the community because the entities that exist in the community are merely there to prey upon the community. If you don't know by now, then I'm going to tell you, this government has never done, nor will it ever do right by black people. So the community has to do it. Most of the churches that exist in our communities aren't doing right by the community. So the community has to step up and create a new kind of not church, but community entity. Most of the businesses that exist in our communities are preying upon the community. So the community has to step up and take over those businesses and or create a new kind of business. Nothing is going to change if we, as new black men and women, don't change it. There are entities in and around the community that are focused on building power. Very, very, very few, but they're out there. Of course, the Black Gold Movement is one such entity. We're not trying to go along to get along. We're not trying to get funding from the American government. We're not trying to play by anyone's rules that aren't pro-black rules. We're not trying to exist in a system that's been proven to be anti-black. We're about creating things in a completely new fashion to create a new kind of black person and black child moving forward. If you understand what I'm saying, if you see the predatory behavior in your community, or you see it in communities that you drive through, or you know it exists in communities that you're aware of, then this is an invitation for you to learn more about the Black Gold Movement. Our focus is discouraging the predators or destroying the predators. That can't happen by us continuing to do what we've been doing, because it's obvious that what we've been doing isn't working. If any black organization has been in existence for more than 2 or 3 years and they're not trying to build power, then that organization needs to reassess what it's doing. I understand the importance of education, but most of us push education because we are looking for our children to get a job. And a job is not the answer. A job doesn't build power. I understand it, but that's not the answer. We need to push education so that our children can learn skills so that they can either create their own businesses or they can work within the community to make the community bigger, better, and stronger. We absolutely must create communities that have influence, value, and power. Until we have influence, value, and power, our children, our women, our elders, and our brothers will continue to be preyed upon. Individually, you will never win. The odds are too great. There's too much against you. Attacking the problem in one way, education, politics, economics, legal, spiritually, won't work. You're up against too much. only focusing on your personal spiritual development is individualistic, selfish, and won't work. It's good for you, but it doesn't create power. Power respects power. And we don't have any, which is why we're disrespected. You don't see the lion attacking the tiger, or a tiger attacking a bear, or a bear attacking an alligator. And if they do, then there's a fight. Predators exist in and around our communities. These predators come in all colors, all shapes, all forms. We're looking for black people that understand that community predation exists, and they're willing to learn more as to how we can fight back to eliminate that predatory behavior. If we don't do it, no one else is going to do it. No one cares about black people. The issues that exist in our community, we did not create them. We don't have that kind of power. But unfortunately, it's on us to fix them. And we can, if we come together and work together to build something for our people moving forward. So with that, I'm going to thank everyone for making the live broadcast. I sincerely appreciate it. If you want more information about the Black Gold Movement, go to our main website, blackgoldnation.com, click on About, read our mission. If you agree with the mission, go to our events website, blackgold-wakandarising.com, and RSVP for a presentation so you can learn more about what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and most importantly, how you can be a part of it. If you want to support us, you can do that in two ways. You can become an active supporting member, which is only a $4 a month membership fee. Go to the events website, blackgold-wakandarising, click on support, scroll down to that subscribe button. It's only $4. If you want to get more than $4, 5, 10, 15, 20, there's a button below that. Donate. Click that and give whatever you want to give. Keep in mind that we gave over $500 million in 1 month to a movie. We have the money we need to eliminate, to discourage and destroy every predator that exists in every black community. We have the resources. We have the leadership. We have the people on the ground. We need you to join us in one of, if not all three of those facets, so that we can discourage and or destroy the predators that exist in our communities. Predators don't just go away. If the predator knows where the food is, it's going to keep coming back to the food source. Black people are the food source. You have people whose jobs are based on preying upon the black community. You have people whose livelihood is based on preying upon the black community. Prisons need to prey upon black and brown communities to exist. We know that. So if we know that, we have to change that. And to go one step further, if a black person is on any social media platform and they're only talking about the problem and they never give any solution, that person is a waste of time, and you need to find someone else to listen to. I know that the Black Gold Movement, in an effort to build a Black Gold Nation, works because I've lived it. But that doesn't mean it's the only solution that's out there. There are other black people out there doing some wonderful things. So if you don't agree with, or you can't vibe with what we're doing, get with someone who is doing something. Plug yourself into something that is doing something. Or of course, plug yourself into what we're doing, because we want you and we need you to make this work. So if you want more information about the movement, blackgoldnation.com, click About. If it makes sense, go to blackgold-wakandarising.com and RSVP. If the mission doesn't make sense and you're confused, on the same website, click on Why We Must Build. We've done a very good job of organizing the different categories of predation as to why we need to build our own stuff, from not being physically safe to not being spiritually healthy, not being able to find good, healthy, affordable food, not being able to feed ourselves, and not having the business that we need to control, to changing what's been done to us via slavery. The reasons we need to build are multiple. If the mission doesn't make sense and you're not quite clear, click on that link and look at some videos on that page. Everything is there. We have one comment from Brother Mbutu. True, brother, the so-called black community are 21st century concentration camps with different races, white supremacist institutional dynamics. Sadly, we are conscious and unconscious co-conspirators in the predatory, genocidal strategy of the enemy. That says it. Correct, Brother Mbutu. That is it. We participate in the existence of the predators because we know that they exist. But we turn the blind eye, or we put our head in the sand, or we hope and pray that our kids will be safe and somebody else's family will be destroyed. That individualistic way of thinking is not going to work, because at some point that predator is going to knock at your door. At some point that drug dealer is going to approach your children. At some point that police officer is going to physically harass and or arrest your child. At some point that gentrification is going to visit your neighborhood. At some point that organization is going to look to your space as something that they want. All we have is one another. But having one another is only one aspect of what needs to happen. We need to have one another with a plan, have one another's back with a plan to ensure that we can discourage and or destroy the predators. The predators were there yesterday. The predators are there today. And they're going to be there tomorrow. You can look around the community and see the predators. You know who they are. You know what they're doing, and you know how long they've been doing it. That's the easy part about being a predator hunter. Because we know where they are. We know where they exist. We know what they do. We know how they do it. We know how long they've been doing it. The Black Gold Movement needs predator hunters so that we can identify the predators, implement a plan to get them out. The Black Gold Movement has identified predator hunters in multiple cities. And we are implementing plans to discourage and destroy the predators. But we need more predator hunters because it's a big task and there are a lot of predators. Like any species of animal, they place their children, the offspring, the little ones, in the middle. And typically, the females surround the child and the men surround the females. It's time for us to step up. America's changing. And that change is not pro-black. America's never been pro-black. America wasn't built for the black man and woman. Built by the black man and woman, but wasn't been built for the black man and woman. But that doesn't mean that we can't carve out an existence in this country that is just as much ours as anyone else's. But to do that, you got to have some predator hunters that are really ready, willing, and able to identify the predator so that we can discourage and or destroy them and get them out of our communities. 2019 is going to be a tremendous year for the Black Gold Movement. We want it to be even more tremendous with your participation. So if you want more information, go to our main website, blackgoldnation.com, click on About, and read the mission. If it makes sense, RSVP for a presentation, blackgold-wakandarising.com. If it doesn't make sense, click on Why We Must Build and educate yourself as to what we need to do. I've been doing this for about a year and a half, almost 2 years since I wrote the book, Black Gold Devalued, last year. I know individual black people on Facebook who've been literally talking and sharing crap for a year. I take that back. They don't share crap. They share good stuff, but they're not trying to do anything. If you know of a black person who's just talking and posting, it's a waste of time, and we don't have time to waste. We don't need any new Facebook groups talking about black history. We don't need any new Facebook groups coming together to share information. We don't need any new Facebook groups to strategize. Join one that already exists to make them bigger, better, and stronger. Or join us. because we have a plan. We're implementing a plan, and we know what we're doing because the people who are part of the movement have experience in doing what we're trying to do. We have predator hunters that know what they're doing in key areas where predation exists. The lives of our children are at stake. The livelihood of our people are at stake. We need to create new communities where our children are safe, our women are safe, our elders can give back, and our brothers have purpose. Every facet of Black life needs to be restructured. And that restructure has to be based on placing Black first. Because everything that exists, 99.9% of the things that exist in the Black community are predatory. And that has to change. So with that, I have one more comment. Brother Isan, our ambassador out of LA, says, Predator Hunter at your service. All right, Black man. You know I'm going to call you on that. Brother Nicholas, you should be our next Predator Hunter, representing White Castle, Louisiana. We already have one out there. Sister Connie, your cousin, she needs help. So we know that predators exist. We know the predator hunters are out there. We just need to plug them into what we're trying to do. So thank you guys for making a live broadcast. Always remember that no one can do everything, but if everyone does something, everything will get done. And always remember that nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of Black people. Please share this video. Our goal is 250 potential, because not everyone stays, not everyone makes it, 250 potential predator hunters by Friday of this week. We are at, right now, we're at 80 potential hunters, and we're looking for 170 more by Friday of this week. We have a plan. 2019 is going to be a huge year for the movement, and we want you to be a part of that year. So thank you guys very much. God bless. I will talk to you soon. Everyone have a great day. And remember, share this video. Let's find some predator hunters, and let's put some things in place so that we can protect our children and build power in our communities. Thank you very much. God bless. Bye-bye.